Hi everyone, Jen. So my name is Kaxi. I'm the developer of Women in DeFi, and I'm happy to have you guys here today. So today, um, our speaker is having a TikTok challenge right now, so he's currently not present, or is on his way. He's actually coming. He has issue. He's actually on transit, so he'll be here for meantime for now. So let's just proceed. But today, we'll just be going through the slide, and after we're done going through the slide, we just if it's not here, we end up deploying a contract, interpret our contract, and then asking one or two questions that you guys may have for us. So once again, welcome to our workshop. This is a monthly workshop that we always have from time to time, every month, every last Wednesday of every month. And your host, Kaxi. All right. So today's topic is building your first building your first decentralization app. Actually, the first part one we had issue with our network, and we weren't able to do a whole lot for that. But we had a makeup class, but it was not recorded. So that's the reason why a lot of people came to me. They were asking me, um, like to those that were not present in the part one, if we could do a little bit of introduction before proceeding the to the more technical aspects. So for the workshop of today, build your first decentralized app. Let's content of this workshop is going to be about decentralization, blockchain, what decentralization applications mean, the smart contracts, the brains of the DApp, and the front end developments for that. And not only that, now talking about what is decentralized application. So decentralized application is first of all, let's talk about what a centralized application is. Centralized application is more of when your data, you're not in control of your data. Your data is um the centralized database that the one who is in control of the data. And with that aspect it means that you are powerless. So it's more of like a single point of failure. That's what it's actually mostly about. But the decentralized system is a distributed ledger and a trustless networks. So from here, you can see that the traditionally web application rely on centralized server that is being controlled by a single entity, and this creates a single point of failure and raises concern about data privacy and censorship. So, like the centralized system, on the other hand, it distributes data and applications across a network of computers and eliminates any form of central authority. This fosters transparency, security, and resistance to censorship. So that's one beautiful thing about decentralized application. It fosters transparency, whereby every transaction that's been done on the blockchain, it's very visible in the ledger. So like for example, we have different kind of blockchains. We have the private blockchains, the public blockchains, and we have the hybrid blockchains, a whole lot. But I won't be shocked if maybe years from now they invent other types of blockchain. But currently we have like 3 to 4 types of blockchain. But right now we're talking more about the public blockchains. So for the public blockchains, we have one example is Ethereum, Solana, Stacknet, and a whole lot more. But today we're talking about Ethereum. Okay, moving on to the next slide, you can see here that the blockchain is actually the backbone of decentralization. The blockchain is actually the backbone of decentralization, meaning that the blockchain is what powers the decentralized nation of the whole Web3 aspects. So the blockchain here, it says here, the blockchain technology underpins decentralization. It's a distributed ledger, a shared database of records across a network of computers. Each record contains data and a unique hash, meaning that whenever any transaction is being carried out in the blockchain, a unique hash, when I said hash, it means that let me say unique receipts. Like imagine like maybe you transfer money from your account to someone else. It actually gives you this unique receipts. It sends you unique receipt, right? That's the same thing with the blockchain. when you transfer when you make a transaction on the blockchain, it generates a unique hash. So, and blocks are chained together. It actually chained together in a way that connected. That's the reason why it has this decentralized nature. And it's very secure. Like I said, it's transparent, and its data storage makes DApp so possible. DApp in form of decentralized applications. So, moving on to the next, I'm just going to a little bit quick here, and we have limited time to spend in here. So, types of decentralized applications. Okay, I don't know. You guys might have heard of Uniswap. They have Farcaster. Yeah, Farcaster is mostly the blockchain. I think that's actually working on Farcaster right now is base. Like there's this on-chain base that happened. There's way that actually connected the Farcaster together with it, and we have the OpenSea. We have a whole lot of decentralized applications. You guys can name one or two, but if you are new to the blockchain space and you don't have any idea about decentralized applications, you can just feel free to just go straight to the Google and just search for it, like different types of decentralized applications, and you can just interact with it to just know how exactly it feels. So once again, decentralized applications are application that's built on the blockchain. It runs on a decentralized network, and there's no central authority that controls them. Users have more control over their data, unlike the centralized system. Like for example, now one example of a centralized system is our famous Twitter, our famous Instagram. They're all centralized, meaning that if your data, imagine you communicating with different people or doing different things, those data are being stored somewhere. And there's this perfect example I always give to people. Like you will notice that if you're like surfing the net, maybe you are thinking about something like buying a pair of shoes, you're just surfing the net and searching about it. In less than 10 minutes or so, you start seeing different ads popping up on your screen to tell you this is kind of shoes, stuff like that. What's happening is that your data is actually being manipulated somehow, so like in a way, like it's being manipulated. But when you're working with a decentralized application, your data, you're in control of it. There's no centralized server like storing your data. You are the one in charge of it. You decide what exactly is going to happen to those data. You are the boss here, unlike the centralized system. And there's also something that is way more centralized. Like if you're in this blockchain space, you must have heard about trust wallets, and you must also heard about Bybit or Binance. Exactly. So Bybit or Binance, those stuff are like a centralized platform, meaning that they're in charge of your security. Like if you make one or two transactions and maybe you have one or two issues, you can easily reach out to them and complain, and they will be the one to take charge of those stuff because they are the one in charge of it. But for a platform like Trust Wallet or um let me say phantom stuff like that, those type of application that are decentralized, meaning that you are the one in charge of it. That's the reason why you can easily move your funds. If your phone gets stolen, there's nobody to complain to because you are the one in charge of your data. So moving on to the next slide, I don't want to waste too much time. So he said yes that from the early days of Ethereum, let's check if our speaker is available now. Okay, hold on a bit. Let's check. All right. Okay, our speaker is here. Let me add him to the stage.
Hello,
Hi,
everyone.
Adekule.
Yes, I can hear you.
Welcome.
Good evening. Yeah, thank you.
Good
Thanks for having
evening.
me. And I'm very sorry for the delays and all. I'm very, very sorry. And thanks for starting. And we're enjoying the class.
Yeah.
Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
can you continue? Or do you want me to
All
finish?
right.
Can you?
Yeah, you can. You can. If you
Yeah.
want to finish this, you can. And if you want me to take over, but I think I'm enjoying it and everyone is following. So if you
Okay,
want to
that
finish
means
with the
when I'm done
slide,
with this slide,
yeah, yeah. So I'll
yeah,
just pick up from
then you
there.
can just take care of the technical aspects. All right, no
Yeah.
problem. So moving on to this, you can see here that from early days of Ethereum, the founder's visions was more broader than the smart contract. no less than reinventing the web and creating a new world of dApps, aptly called Web3 smart contract and a way of decentralized. Okay, let's just forget about this big English here. You're trying to say here that the Web3 aspect is made up of a whole lot of things. We have the smart contract. Smart contract is more of like the back end aspect. Yeah, the back end aspect. Unlike if you are in the Web2 side, you hear of the back end is mostly about this Node.js kind of thing, different APIs that has been created, and then the front end is able to call those APIs. But for Web3 aspect, it's actually something similar, but it's just a bit different because it's been written with like a specific language. For Ethereum, we have Solidity. For stuff like Solana, there is unchained language called Rust, yeah. And Stacknet, we have Cario. We have different kind of language for that. But when those contracts is being deployed to the blockchain, it generates something called a API. So those API, that API is what's used to interact with the front end. So in here, you can see that it has the smart contracts, the backend aspect, the front end software. This is actually made up of JavaScript. Like I tell a lot of people because I actually work with a lot of devs, and I tell them that when it comes to Web3, like JavaScript is actually the backbone of the front end aspect. People ask, like, can I use something else or that kind of programming language? I'm like, no, for Web3, if you want to work in the front end aspect, you have to know JavaScript. And that's the reason why we women in DeFi, we have a program for our Web2 devs whereby we teach them JavaScript and how to know how to create front end apps. And after that, we also have a training called the Skill Up training coming up next month whereby we'll teach them about blockchain development for you to just be a full stack blockchain developer. And also we have like data storage. There's stuff called something called IPFS. So IPFS is more of like where big files are being stored. Files like maybe if you want to like upload pictures or videos, there's somewhere called IPFS whereby it's being stored there. Then it generates something for you, and then you store that stuff inside your smart contract. Then it's very easy because if you want to store big files like that into your smart contract, the gas fee is going to be so much, and you really don't want to do that. And so there's something called ENS. ENS is more of like Ethereum name service. So it's just like generating a random name for you so you can like interact with the blockchain. So moving on, I don't want to spend too much time. It said here that the smart contract explains. Okay, smart contract explains safe executing contracts in blockchain written in code, solidity, like I said before. It defines rules and automates transactions on the blockchains. Yeah. So it's more of like those contracts that is being written is just like specified rules that is being created by the developer. So you being a dev, meaning that you have the power to create specific rules that will be followed, and you are actually in control of everything you're doing here in the blockchain. So Solidity, we have something called ADAT. ADAT is what is actually used to deploy contracts. You can also use Remix, but for you to be so actually like it's actually very advisable that you learn ADAT first and then you go for Foundry. Foundry is more of like for the big guys. But if you're not the big guys, you can just stick to ADAT first. But for Remix is actually very nice, but it's advisable you just try to learn ADAT. That's it. So for the front end, I said before, we have React, we have Next.js, we have Ether.js for interacting with the smart contract, Ether.js and Web2.js, the more of interactive with smart contract. We have Web3 modal. Web3 modal is actually, let me say, like a wallet kit, just like a well-defined wallet kit. And ABI is like application binary interface. So if you have any questions, feel free to just drop it in chat and we'll do it to answer those questions for you. So moving on quickly, there's I've already explained what an ABI is. ABI is application binary interface. It's what is being generated when a smart contract is being built. So like if you're using ADAT, want to just want something sorry, build or compile. If you just want a code called like ADAT compile, you just like automatically build like an ABI for you that can use to interact. And most times, if you want to see that ABI in the blockchain, it's advisable to deploy that contract and also verify that contract in the blockchain. That's when it's very, very visible for every other person to see it and interact with. So moving on quickly, yeah. So right now we're in the code base, the technical aspects, and thank God that our speaker is here to take over. So Adekule, if you're here, can you say hi? I hope the network has not. I don't know. Adekule, are you here?
Hello. I'm here.
Hi. Okay. So
Yeah,
let
so
me
hello
stop this.
everyone again. Thank you very much, Kosi. Um, I believe so far, with all she has explained, there is a bit of clarity on what we had the last time, and it's more like we are building on what we've done before, and also to take us through, some of the basics. So, okay, someone said, "Can we get the material after today's session?" Yeah, the material will be available. So, I mean, this GitHub, I'm going to update it today, so that you can have some of the things that we have here and some of the things we're going to do today, so that you can have them. So believe me, to build on blockchain is not hard. Like, it's not like something that is rocket science. But ideally, you just need to go through resources that are available, and these resources are more like open source. So in the real sense, nothing in the world of Ethereum or blockchain is gated. So everything is open source. So there are resources, enough resources outside there that you can feed on, and you can always come to a place like Women in DeFi and ask your questions. Yeah. So thank you very much, Crossy. And
Okay.
okay,
Let me just answer that. Someone's asking for Solana blockchain. What do you use for the front end? Okay. Actually, you can just view the front end with React or Next.js. But for the wallet kits, because Solana has its own different wallet kits. For that, it has like a specific way of doing that. So actually, I was thinking about hosting a workshop about Solana, but I don't really know. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. But it's actually different in a way. And Solana also has like a some kind of deployed contract that can easily interact with your front end. You don't really have to deploy anything. You have to just interact with your front end. So a whole lot of things though. But I think something we have to discuss next time. So let's just give room to our mentor to continue.
yeah, good question. Like she has said, and one thing is for Solana, I believe you know that you don't write the smart contract in Solidity, you write it in Rust, and there is Web3.js for Solana also, just like we have EtherJS, Web3.js for front end integration in Ethereum. So they have Web3.js for Solana that is used, for the integration. So, yeah, let's dive into what we have today. I think I will have to start sharing my screen now.
All right.
Do you get me, Kosi? Yeah, thank
Yeah, yeah.
you.
Start sharing.
Yeah. So if you can see my screen, let me know. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, I'm adding that to the stage now. Okay.
Yeah. So this is the code base that we used the last time, the one inside our Canva. And so I created a new branch. I just call it Workshop 2. So we're still going to go through what we had the last time before we proceed. So this is the same code in my VS Code. And for the new guys here, um, we are using ADAT. Ideally, as you progress, learn to use Foundry, ADAT, anyone, and of course, no remix. So remix is not hard. You can easily go online and check, how to deploy remix. So I'm going to permit me. So I'm going to come here and open ADAT documentation. So you can get, if you press ADAT online, you're going to see their documentation. Then this is their documentation. And for installation, what you are going to run is, nps ADAT init. So when you run this line, this command, then you are going to have an interface like this. So we actually went through that during our last class, and I don't know if I should do that again, but it's not hard like I mentioned. But when you run nps add that in it, maybe should I run that? Kasi, what do you think?
Yeah, yeah, please, you can run that.
Okay, so I'm going to. You can do it right from your terminal. You can do it inside a VS Code terminal. But let me just open a new VS Code. Um, so I'm going to open a new window entirely. Let me do it this way. Let's create a folder to just help us have it easily. So I'm going to create a folder here. Let me create it here. So I'm going to call it test. Add that. So and then you can now open it. So we'll go to open with VS Code. So in that way, so everything we are doing it inside that folder. So if you open your terminal, so I'm opening the terminal now. So and we're going to paste that particular command that we wrote. Sorry about that. This thing can be very sensitive sometimes. So nps add that in it. So I hit that, then we're going to allow that. So, and of course, before you can run this, you must have Node installed on your device. I believe you should know that. So it asks you to proceed. So the necessary package will be installed. So yeah, then you are going to get to pick what you want to use, the language you want to use with adults. Now, I often tell people to go with TypeScript and not JS. Now, of course, if you go with JS, it's going to work. But if you are doing maybe some kind of contract interaction right from your adult, you're writing scripts, you might have issue using JS. I've had history of issues with JS in the time past that I wouldn't have in with normal TypeScript, and that's something we call type chain that comes with others when they compile our contracts. Well, you don't need much of that now, but just go with TypeScript, and of course with normal TS you can write your JS, but just that it will be more, you know, it will be more sensitive to help you pick your errors and every necessary things. So and in case I'm doing anything you're not clear about, you're unsure about or so, you can easily let me know. So you see, this was what we just saw, and then we are done installing. That's it. Let me go back there so as to show us. I mean, it's taking time, but immediately we are done. Yeah, this is what you are going to see. So you are going to see contract, ignition, test, and every other thing. And now there's a contract that comes by default. By default with ADAT. It's called lock.so. So it's like a test contract that comes with it. Yeah. So it comes upon installation. So you get to delete it. Sometimes you might leave it if you're not bothered by it. And sometimes you might just edit it to, put your own. But it is there to guide us. And we have ignition here. Ignition is where you get to deploy your contracts. This is before, they usually call these scripts in the old version of ADAT, but they make some changes recently. And I think all of those things align with the recent changes that, or let me say EIPs that were proposed on Ethereum to make it suitable well with it and all. And we have tests. This is more like a unit test. You can write both unit tests and Mocha. If you are someone who is used to JS, testing in JS, unit test and end-to-end test and all of those things. So for instance, this is written in Kai, you see. So all of these tests. So these tests are written to test this contract. Now you don't need to understand how to test, when you are starting out. Are you getting now? You just need to understand how to write contract first. Then you know how to deploy. Then you can now come back. If you read this, and you follow the lock contracts, you are going to understand everything they are doing. You are really going to understand it. It is plain JavaScript. Plain JavaScript. This is just Kai. And Kai is written, built around JavaScript. So you can see async function and the whole thing. So you just need to calm down, understand the lock contracts, then come and read this, then see what they are doing. So that means your first priority is to understand how to write Solidity contract. So, and for you to know how to write Solidity contract, now you can check out Solidity by sample. Solidity by sample. Oh, I said so. I'm not the right this thing. I'm not on my use default browser. So this Solidity by sample. And then you have it here. Am I still on this call? Where is the link to the call? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, I'm wondering where I'm having the call. Okay. Oh, I'm having the call here. So you can check out Solidity by sample, and here from knowing how to write your hello world to building your first app, your first Solidity app, and then every type of thing that exists here. Now, like I tell you, don't feel like they are much. They aren't actually. All of these things are just contract that has been written. You saw when she was presenting that time, when she said example of job and she wrote Uniswap. So these are contracts written to just show people, and DeFi means decentralized finance. So all these contracts are more like flagship in the DeFi world that people go to and try to understand to get better. And there are different things here. These are applications of all of these things you have here. How to apply them, things you can write, things you can build with them. And of course, let me give you one secret. You can go on a site called MetaCrafter and you learn, and as you learn, you can earn also. Don't say I said it, and don't cast the updates. So there's a site called MetaCrafter where you can learn and earn stipend so far you finish your course, as you do so. So they even pay you to learn. That's another beautiful thing. And then, of course, you also have Solidity book. Or you can just say, yeah, that means the official Solidity page in the recent. Okay, this is not getting it, but let me just go to Solidity. Sorry, let me come here, please. Yeah. What's happening? So Solidity dot, I'm trying to get their site. Yeah, Solidity lang. Yeah, Solidity lang. That's soliditylanguage.org. So this is soliditylang.org, and this is more like their official docs. You can go to their documentations. You saw that I have one bookmark. I have something bookmark on their page myself. that I go to, that I defer to, over time. So you can guide yourself here and learn more things also. So there are a lot of things actually, and there are resources. And of course, there's the Ethereum main site themselves. You can go on Ethereum and you learn from their official website. So that's that. Um, Please, if you have any question, let me know. So we now go back to our project. So the last time we were here, we built this DApp. Let me CD to the front end. Then we built this. Just something very simple and minute, actually. Boiler. I think our data has gone beyond the page, but it's interesting. So we built this. This is to say connect your wallet. So that means I wasn't considering SS information while I was just putting them out. We will make adjustments today. So permit me to write my password. So what I'm connecting is my wallet. That's MetaMask. So I'm switching to Chain. Now Chain is just, I'm on another Chain before on my MetaMask, the wallet I connected. So like she was explaining earlier that there are different chains, there are layer one, layer two. She mentioned Fakasta. Fakasta is built on optimism, and of course, base interacts with it a lot. And so there are different chains outside there. The mainnet, the Ethereum mainnet. This chain we're on is called Sepolia. Sepolia is a test net on the mainnet on Ethereum. Let me just say mainnet. So it's a test net on layer one Ethereum, and what it does is there's no real or you shouldn't send any real assets to a place like Sepolia. It is just for testing purposes and or purpose in general. So and the idea is that whatever you have here, you have them for test, and don't send any real asset there because it automatically loses value also in that sense. And so if I want to interact with these contracts, this is a DApp now because this is a front end connected to a blockchain. Now, if you want to interact with this, you pass in your data. So let's try to do something. I'm going to use someone's name. Whose name should we use? So let's say we use Corsi. I don't know why I put it again, but I know it should be age. Bad UI. So let me just assume one age for her. I really don't know. Maybe she's not that age. Don't mind me. So I press set, and then my MetaMask pops up. So the idea is you are going to sign the transaction, and once the transaction has been signed, then it goes through. Yeah. So we are waiting for the transaction to go through. Now, of course, if you've seen Beta DApp, this is just for, this is the least, what's it called? This thing we can ever build. But if you're going to see Beta DApp, you are going to see that, what's it called now? That this thing, I had to refresh my browser to see the results. This is what we just wrote, Corsi 26 female. Now, this detail is right there on Ethereum, on the Sepolia testnet, and it's secure there, and it's forever secure there. So if anybody check this contract address, the contract address on Sepolia, and try to read the details, we are going to find the details there forever. Now, I was saying something. So if you are going to see Beta DApp, which I've been privileged to build many, you are going to understand that You don't have to refresh your browser, and at the same time, they look very nice. There are many interesting things you can do. But I'm going to, with the few moments we have so that we can ask questions and everything, I'm going to walk us through the code, walk us through how it was connected on the front end. Maybe I will show you another simple DApp that I wrote a while ago, and show us the code and show us how it was connected. So this is, okay, sorry, contract. So this is, just understand this. This is the front end, this is the contract. So more like the same way you can have front end and back end, the same, GitHub repo. So this is the contract. So inside the contract, then you have contract that was made available for you. So I call it setter getter contract. So I had a struct of person with string name, age, and sex. So these are the things you saw that was using to manage or create a structure for my data. And then I have set details, and I pass name, age, and sex into it. And and then I'm now using these things that I pass in here to update these details using this structure. Then I'm pushing it into an array of person. I create an array, I call it person. So I'm pushing it into it, and this one is simply getting detail. And what this get detail does is it fetches all the array and just return the data. So that means that what you have here on the screen are all the series of names that we've pushed, into that array, following the data structure I gave to it. So that's simply it on the front end, and we deploy it on the Sepolia testnet. And for you to deploy, you need some things. You need the RPC URL, you need your private key. I explained that the last time. And so this is a deploy. Let me find, yeah. This is the deployment script. So with ADAT, if you're going to deploy an ADAT, you are going to get an instance of the contract. So this got us an instance of the contract, then call contract, then we just return it. So by doing this, then you are going to now write your script in the ADAT config, or like you're going to configure the ADAT config. That was your script. So, and in the ADAT config, you need your private key. I need RPC URL. I'm not sure if I don't have my private key exposed inside this .env, so I'm not going to go there. I'm very sorry, apology. And let me say this to you. Of course, this is for my test net, though if you see it, what you are going to meet there are test token, but at the same time, I don't use the address for anything real assets. But at the same time, don't expose your private key. It's a good practice. So from your wallet, you have private key. And I showed those that were in the last workshop how to get their private key from their wallet. And I might also show you today. But notice that this is, okay, let me pause the call and check. Maybe I don't have my private key exposed. Pause my video. Are we cool with that?
No, don't hold on. Let me do it for you. Don't worry.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much.
Done already.
Yeah, so I'm okay, thank you. So let me check. Oh, I don't have it exposed. So raise up.
Should I add you back?
So yeah, add it back. Add me back.
Done.
At least I figure I'm not always the type that keeps private key here. So thank you. So this is RPC URL, and I got this from something called Infura. So, and this is my Etherscan API key. Now, Infura is one of those means, I don't want to use, protocol that provide RPC. Yeah, that's the best one. That provide RPC that you can use to connect to different chains. So I went to get the RPC URL for Sepolia, and I'm going to show you how to do that. And of course, you pass in your private key, and with that, you can use it to configure your ADAT, And if I show you the for the projects we built that time, if you are going to go and check the others config, the new project, you see this is how the other configs look like. That's why I often tell people you definitely have access to this GitHub, so you can just go there, see how I wrote my others config, and have it, and just know how to model your .env files towards it. And again, you don't even have to keep things in the .env file again. You can now have them written into your saved into your terminal locally, for your own good. Yeah, but if you read that, what's it called now, that documentation that we mentioned. Okay, for instance, okay, this is a good one. I saved my Etherscan API. This Etherscan API key, I actually have it saved. In this case, I think I remember the last class, I saved it in my terminal to show what's going on in my terminal. So the API key is coming from my terminal, vars.get, and I'm importing this. So if you go to the ADAT documentation, you are going to see how to do that. I'm going to go to the ADAT documentation. Yeah. So you are going to see, come here. So you are going to see how to do that. So deploying your contract. Okay. I'm coming.
I think, can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm with you.
Just to confirm with you, they're asking if the source code for the setup that definitely be provided again.
Yeah, it will be provided. It is still available, actually. It will be provided. And I'm going to add one more to it. I'm going to. What is it?
Isn't that one you sent to me? Let me just share it to them right now.
Okay. And I'm planning to add one more to push another one to the code base. So that was the this thing I showed them the other time. This is the GitHub. This is the GitHub. So I created another branch just now that I've not pushed into, but I want to push.
Okay.
This is the branch we're on. Everything I'm showing you is on this branch. So I want to add something else to this branch, a new DApp entirely, to just help you understand it, and or to just help you have more knowledge into different things. So depending on which one you want to run, you can just switch your branch and show it and have it in your browser. So it's available. Share them the link. Any updates that I'm going to make on it will also appear on their site. It's GitHub.
Okay.
So yeah, thank you very much. So what was I saying? Yeah, so to tell you how to get your private key, so you need to have a wallet, and there are many wallets. If you check here, you see I have some number of wallets. Phantom, this Bravos, this for Starknet, and this is Rabbi wallet, a good one. I love a lot, and this is MetaMask. So to get your private key, go to any account you have, then open it here, then go to account details, then you see show private key. It's as simple as that. Then you put in your password, you are going to see your private key, you are going to copy it, and you are good to go. So it's not hard at all. So yeah, that's that. So to the front end of this particular project that I've shown you, this setter getter that I showed you. So for the front end, now there's no one direct way towards front end. I don't know if any of you have been a front end dev before. You know that you can build the same thing different way when it comes to front end, just depending on how you feel is the best approach. Of course, that's always the best practice towards things. But with what we have here, the second project I want to show you, I actually built both front end and the contract inside the same thing. That's one funny thing. But yeah, I have them separated. But there's always different approach, like I mentioned. So let me just show you what we did here. So this is the .env. This is what we have in the .env. Now I'm using a package called Web3 Model. Web3 model, and it's a connect kit. I believe it was shown during the Kai, leave me alone. I believe it was shown during the presentation. So Web3 model. So which what's happening? Ah, sorry. Why is the site not reachable? That's interesting.
Maybe you need to on a VPN.
Maybe they ban us in Nigeria again. Who knows?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, probably this is serious. Oh.
Use a VPN.
I don't have any VPN configured currently. Ah, I don't want to believe this. I use Web3 mode every day now. I thought they are this every day. Well, this is the NPM package. That's interesting. I wanted to show you their main site, and now you can get everything you need there. But this is interesting. Wow. Now I don't want to believe they blocked us. I want to believe their site is currently down. So there are different connect kits you can use. There's WagMe. There's WagMe. I'm really sorry for this. Let me put it off. Sorry. So there's WagMe. And WagMe works with Rainbow Kitware. Some people love using Rainbow Kit. So if you've heard of Rainbow Kit before, it's also inside that slide. So WagMe Reactivity for Ethereum app, you know, and so it has its own connection, how to go about it, connect wallet, and all. So this is it. It's you just have to. Now let me tell you something also, and this is something I would love to say for everybody, that if you are going to work as developer in the Web3 ecosystem, you must love reading documentations, and that's because Ethereum is just 9 years old, not up to a decade. Ethereum is still was 9 years old yesterday, so it's not up to a decade already, and that means that it's still pretty new. It's one of the young guys in the block. I recall last 2 weeks or so. Yeah, that should be last 2 weeks. I worked on Fakasta, protocol, and I had to implement things I really do not have knowledge of before. Like I don't know how to do them, so I had to sit with documentations here and there, and I created something nice. So, like I said, things are open source and people are ready to learn. So you read, you reach out to people, you are going to see their, Twitter address or Telegram address or so. For instance, now it's an opportunity you have to meet me here, and Kosi. You can easily reach out to me on Twitter. You can reach out to me on Telegram, and you ask your question, and I'll always, be ready to help you. The same way too, I had to implement things, and there was a time I had to, train a bot and have the bot, reply questions on Fakasta, on Webcast. That's something called Webcast or so. I don't know, maybe I don't want to bore you guys, but the idea is I had to reach out to people and I had to read documentations. I remember the first time I implemented Connect Kit using WagMe. I had to sit down and read all of this, not all, but some of these things, to know what I want to do, or to know I can use it to do it. You just need to know that something is possible. If you know it's possible, then read it and implement. It's as simple as that. So my normal go-to guy is, Web3 model, which their site is currently down at the moment, but it is what I use inside this project. So with Web3 model, they are going to give you a project ID. So I believe I kept the project. You see, I kept everything inside the env.example that I left for you guys. So, and like I told you, you need RPC URL. You need RPC URL to deploy contracts. You need RPC URL to interact with it from the front end. And like I said, I use Infura. If you go to Infura, Furia.io, and of course you can get RPC URL different um, from different means. It's not you can get from Alchemy. Alchemy is also another popular RPC provider, and you can get from what's the name of these popular guys? Now their name left my head. That's interesting. So there are different RPC provider. Let's just have it that way that you can use. So I'm trying to log in. Why you do? So I mean, the computer wants to verify if I'm human. Imagine, imagine something that is not human asking you if you are human. So I just want to show you how to get the RPC URL. So sorry. So if you get here, you are going to see create new API. Then you are going to create your API. So this API I'm using currently. So and then if you come here, you're going to say add network. So you see Sepolia. These are the number of network I've added on this endpoint. But if you pick Sepolia, let's say I add mainnet now, and then you press save changes. So you are going to see the RPC URL, voila. So you pick it for the network you are using. So this is the one we are using. You can see now. So it's as simple as that. You create an endpoint, then you use it. So that's for that. So you have it there, and then your contract address. So when you deploy your contract, it returns an address to you. So and then you have that address, you keep it, then you use the address to interact. So yeah, and all I just did was I created a connection. The connection, so you can have all these things from a Web3 model, their documentation, and you don't need to reinvent the wheel also. You have it here also. All you just need to change is the chain ID. Now, Sepolia has its own chain. Ethereum mainnet chain ID is 1. Sepolia is this number. Someone said, how will I know? Where it's not hard. You can come here and you see the chain you are interacting with. So we're interacting with Sepolia, with Sepolia, and you can look for settings. You go to settings, you see network, then you pick it, and you are going to see detail about the network. And of course, your best bet, you will see they have an RPC URL for you, but I always advise don't don't use this one for your connection or for your deployment. So this is the chain ID. This is where you are going to get it. So if you want to get for Ethereum mainnet, you can see it here. This for Ethereum mainnet and all. And of course, there's a site called Chainlist, chainlist.org. So in Chainlist, you can see Ethereum mainnet 1. You can see many chain here as much as possible, and you can add them straight into your your MetaMask. So for the Sepolia, okay, I want to connect my wallet. So if I said Sepolia is a test net, so you have to check test net, and if you now press Sepolia here, so there are different Sepolia, but you have to know the Sepolia you are actually considering. So you have to look for it. We are looking for the one of chain ID 11115, 11. I mean, I can't keep on scrolling. Yeah, this is. So this is the one we're using. So you see, it's just called Sepolia. Other ones has something attached to their own Sepolia, but it's just called Sepolia, and this is the chain ID. So yeah, that's what we have here as a chain ID. You can easily write it here. I just decided to cut it or create a variable for it because I want to use it elsewhere. So I just call it Sepolia supported chain, and I have it there. And you have all of these things written in. This is your project ID that Web3 model gives you. And yeah, so she mentioned something that something is generated when you deploy your contract. It's called ABI. And of course, if you come to your contract, you can get your ABI here. You know, you go to Artifact inside ADAT. I'm inside ADAT now already, the ADAT code. And then on the contract, you can go to Artifact, then contract, that particular contract we're dealing with. Then this one, the name of the contract, settergetter.json. Sorry, you are going to see settergetter.dw, not that, this. So now two things is generated when your code is deployed, your ABI and your bytecode. Now, but this is the ABI. So you see I copied it. So you don't need the bytecode. The byte you won't even understand what's there. I guess now. So but here, yeah, is your ABI, then you copy it. So I copied my ABI and then I have it saved, right here inside my code. Let's go back to the front end, please. So you have the ABI and we have it saved there as a constant. Yeah, is that a question?
Yeah, someone's asking, he said, do we always have to sign the transaction by clicking connect on our wallet, be it triggers the function? I'm trying to say that, do we always have to sign in transaction for it to trigger a function? I don't know if I get the question very well.
Okay, maybe while you are interacting, you mean on the front end, do I always have to press, sign the transaction
Connect,
like connect my wallet?
yeah, that's what
Okay,
it means, yeah.
okay, let me show you this. Um, if you come here, all of these details that we have here, what is responsible for them is this guy. I'm coming. Is this particular guy called get details. All those information you are seeing there is this guy called get details that's responsible for it. Now you don't need to sign anything when you are reading from from the blockchain. There are two functions. You have write functions and read functions. We have write functions and read functions. So write functions require signing transaction, read function does not. Are you getting me now? In fact, even if your wallet is not connected, you still don't have to, sign it. You are just reading. You should, if the person integrates it well, of course, there are some people that will mandate you to connect your wallet before you can sign transaction. But before you can even read at all, and I don't know, I mean, just their own implementation on how the front end was built. But ideally, you should be able to read freely on chain without having to connect your wallet. That's one thing. But now, for the signing transaction, for the right transactions, you there have to be a signer. But you don't have to now always have to sign transaction. With some recent development of some layer twos and some protocol, you don't have to always sign transaction. You can sign what we call session. So I think Dojo, that's a layer three game chain on Stacknet called Dojo, and with it, you can sign session. So you sign session such that for everything you are going to do within that period, you sign it once, and that's all for it. So that's one. So all of those things, they are things that are more like part of things called meta transaction in that sense. And then of course there's and this guy to call courtesy. You've heard of courtesy before. And why do they bring in these new guys? For instance, if you are playing game and you want to move your player to some things, you don't have to always sign transaction before you can do those things. But you can rather sign section and then have all the experience and then have the section submitted at the end of the day. So that's one thing. So you still sign transaction, but just that it's being bashed together. That's another thing too. Again, things can also be bashed together. Functions can be bashed together too, even right on the front end, depending on the logic that was using while you're writing it. So I can show you code where I acted very funny. I bashed in a lot of cores, in fact, into several contracts. I was interacting with several contracts all at a time, and I bashed the cores together. There's something called multi-cores, you know, when you can bash cores together. And I mean, especially when you are dealing with your read functions, you can read from 10 contracts at a time and return the details all at the same time. And these are many things that have been included into Ethereum also. So yeah, it's a good question. But yeah, let's assign transaction for now. Know the basics. You understand me? Before you now, look for something more. So yeah, for this, we created an instance of our contract with ethers and then provider. I explained this also during the last workshop or so, and I don't want to bore you with it again. But look into this code. I have comments on them to help you, and I create an hook. And this hook is what we are using to write from the front end. You see, I'm passing in name. Sorry, I'm very sorry. Name, age, and sex into it. And look at this set detail. It must be exactly like it is in my ABI, and that means exactly as it is inside my function, inside the way my contract when I write it. So you must have it exactly like you wrote it there, and all of this thing is happening. And I just created a hook to interact, and this is the one that is getting all the details back. All the details with written. This is the guy fetching it. So you can see get details, just like I had it inside that contract. And this is getting everything back. So, I mentioned the fact that all of this thing, also can be affected. Yeah. You say something? Okay.
No, 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 I'm not.
Yeah. So I said all of these things can also be affected by the way you run, your logic. Now I'm going to show you the other code I intend to show you. Now, this is your contract. I just call it front end project. Now, this is the front end inside it. You see? So everything is inside one same code base and a next code base, but that supports ADAT. So there's a way ADAT also supports, implementation directly with a front end. And you can see how I do the how we wrote this. Now for this one, we are not saving anything into CRA or using any mapping or so. Now the first thing we requested for here is name and age registration connect wallet. So the way it was written, so like I mentioned, it just depend on the logic. The way it was written is you must connect your wallet first. Like I mentioned, you don't have to always connect your wallet first. Oh, I don't want to use Rabbi. Please. Why did you pick that one? That's interesting. And I thought I locked it. Sorry, please. Can you stop sharing my this thing? Can you stop sharing my screen, please? Hello, Kosi. Oh,
Done,
can
done,
she hear
done.
me? Oh, all right. So I want to do
Okay.
something.
Are you done?
Yeah, almost. Almost, please. Yeah, you can. You can
Okay.
share me back.
Okay, what did you do?
So I connected my wallet. So, technically, this is the guy that came to connect himself. An interesting guy. So I connected this guy, this wallet address. Let me switch to another one. From this. Um, Let me flip to it. I'm coming, please.
Okay.
Not disk. No, not disk. Portfolio. I'm trying to switch the chain and switch the address connected.
This method has not working.
This guy is trying to fortran. The logic I use for this is that the fastest wallet should connect. So I didn't obey that. Like I mentioned, there are different way around it. So I didn't obey certain laws while creating this.
Okay, can you like show your code base on where you implemented this logic?
Okay, that's interesting. So imagine I don't have this guy here. You know, okay, let me show my code base. Look at it. Just I'm not using any Web3 modal or any. I'm just using it as straight. We use Web3 modal there in the case of the former
Mm-hmm.
one, and
Yeah.
with that one we can easily say connect your wallet and do all those funny things. But inside this one,
Mm-hmm.
I, I didn't use Web3 modal. So there's an EIP. That's what I'm trying not to go to. There's an EIP that all of these new
EI.
wallet EIP.
Sorry,
That's
tell
Ethereum.
them what's the meaning of EI.
Okay, EIP. So EIP simply means Ethereum Improvement Proposals. So they are like
Mm-hmm.
things that are proposed to improve how we work around the Ethereum generally. So there are proposals.
Okay.
There are lots of them. So there's an EIP around building DApp that this new wallet now supports. So that allow you to choose the particular wallet you want to use. In the case of this one, I didn't pick the wallet I want to use. You just look at my browser and it just like all my wallets are competing to connect. And it is the fastest guy that's going to make the connection. So, but if I'm using all those Web3 modal or if I write this code to support that EIP, then I will have option to pick the wallet of my choice. But inside this one, I just did it this way. I just request an account. I just request that an account should be connected, and I use ethers. So ETH wallet dot request method ETH account. You can read this on ethers documentation, and you are going to have more understanding. So this is the guy that is helping us with the connection. But with the former guy, I use both ethers and Web3 model. So building Web3 model around it, can help us. And there's a well-written article actually on Medium that explains this very well. And I even have a GitHub to showcase, I have a code base that showcase how this works and all. And I will share it. Maybe let me give you this thing first. It's written by my mentor in the front end. That's Michael. Let me go to Medium. Yeah, Jai Michael. Um, yeah, injected. So EIP 6963. That's the EIP. that allow us to now be able to decide that, oh, this is a wallet I want to pick, this is a wallet I want to, you can have this. Where will I put this now?
I think just like is it in comment section?
Yeah. So you can have that, and it's going to help you understand what just happened. So yeah, so it's simple. My wallet has been connected, and I want to set age. So let's say I said age is 12, and I press set age. So this just sets things. And so this is the transaction details and I remember she was mentioning transaction hash and the whole thing the other time. So this wallet is actually developers wallet, so it gives you a good idea and your transaction, then you confirm it. So it's confirming the transaction, fail to create, sign with seed phrase, rate limit exceeded. Ooh, wow. Sorry, I'm coming, please.
Okay, what happened?
Yeah, I receive an error there.
Okay, I think we have like less than 20 minutes to go.
Okay, so we'll be taking question very soon.
Okay. Have you showed them the deployed contract in the blockchain? I don't know if you have done that.
Hello, what do you say?
Have you showed them
Yeah,
the
what do you say?
deployed the
Oh, I'm
deployed con-
around network. The deploy contract. Oh, I should show them the deploy contract.
Yeah.
Is it for this?
Yeah, for this one you're working with, you're interacting with.
Oh,
And
okay.
probably later you can push the code, then we can share with them the GitHub link for that.
All right. So I was on wrong shin.
Okay. This was deployed to Ray. Deployed to Ray, sorry. Was it deployed to Ethereum? Yeah, safely. I don't know. Safely.
So we've signed the transaction, and then we're waiting for. So yeah, so you can see now that we are receiving live updates here. The age I
Okay.
set, you can have it as 12, and for the name. So let's say we use Cosi, and then we press set name. So the idea is before modern time, I think that's the word I'm going to use now. So the way these things work before is um your wallet competes to connect. But after EIP 6963, then there is now a way you can now as a user, choose the kind of wallet you want to connect to your DApp. And it's very beautiful and it makes sense. And of course, there are many other projects that I can show you, and you can see how this thing works also. But I mean, there's really no need for that. I believe by now you've gotten where good knowledge of how this thing works. So this is the contract that I just interacted with. So I have unit, I call it age, then string, public, I call it name, then then we have events, set age, set name, set age. I mean, so this is a function. The function receive one thing, which is a number, age, and then I emit an event the moment it has been set. And we have a function called set name, and we set the name and we emit an event. And then this is a function that get the age and get the name. So it's just reading from what we have here on our state level. So it's reading from these variables, and that's all. That's all about the contract. It's a very simple contract. This sets the age, this sets the name, this gets the age, and this gets the name. And then all the interaction and connection was written there. So for instance, I know for the other one, I wrote hooks, I separated everything, but this one, I just bash everything into one thing. That's all. So I just bash everything together. So if you read through, you are going to understand. And if you need help understanding the code, so this is the contract address, and this is,
Okay.
I mentioned ABI. Remember?
Yeah.
So I'm fetching my
Yes.
ABI. I'm fetching my ABI directly from the artifacts inside there, inside this project directory. So if you come here, project.json, this is the ABI, and I'm fetching it directly into this place, and I'm using it. And all of these two things, this contract address also, I use it to create an instance of my contract using ethers. So ethers.contract, you pass in the contract address, you pass in the ABI and the signer. And who is the signer? The signer is your MetaMask. So for instance, your MetaMask. So and for you to get that, so I have to pass in Ethereum wallet. And where is Ethereum wallet coming from? It's coming from this particular function, connect account. So connect account will help me to connect my Ethereum wallet. So this is get wallet. So and I use effect so that the moment I connect my, sorry, I load my page, it should call this function get wallet. And what does this function get wallet does? It look if there's any wallet in your Windows, and then you set it
Mm-hmm.
window.ethereum, you set it as the wallet. Then once you now, and this will now undo the connection. So once this is undone, there are console log. If there's nothing found, it tell you no account found. But if there's an account, so you see, I do account in index 0. That is the first account that no that is found on my Windows. I guess now.
Mm-hmm.
If you notice, when I switch
Yeah.
window, I use MetaMask here. But on the other window, I was using Rabbi Wallet. That's because I don't have
Yeah.
Rabbi Wallet here. So I have MetaMask here. So this will now, MetaMask was the first guy to show face in the case of that one. In the case of the other one, it was, on Rabbi Wallet that first show face. So I'm picking the first guy that showed face, and I'm setting it as the account. And that's what I just did. And so now I have my wallet connected. Then I can now get my signer from my Ethereum wallet. So I pass in my signer here. So this one creates my contract instance. So I now use this one to set the contract. So I'm using states to manage the whole thing. Contract, account, Ethereum wallet, and the whole thing. So once that is done, I have a function called update age and update name. And for the update age, I'm calling the function from the contract. Remember, we've set contract here. So you have to know your React if you are going to work, with DApp. You have to have at least basic knowledge of what is happening in Web 2. So set contract, give me my contract instance. Then you use that contract to call your function. So contract does set age, contract does set name. And one thing, if you notice that the moment we set age, we are seeing the age we set, and the moment we set name, we are seeing the name we set. That's because I use fetch age and fetch name. I'm calling them after the transaction has been successful. So the moment you set name successfully, I'm calling the functions fetch age, and the moment you set name successfully, I'm calling the function fetch name. So there are many ways, and many interesting things we can do, with these things. And of course, with ethers, you can even listen to events to update stuff on your page, on your front end. You can do many things. You can use blog.timestamp. I have a code that I'm using the current timestamp to do things, and on what the receiver, what the user of the DApp we see on their end the moment that timestamp reach. So there are many things you can do, and it's a good thing that you have to know they exist, and you make research and you ask questions to understand how to go about it. I believe with the little point of mine, I've not bored you today. And there are couple of people you should follow on YouTube too. There's a man called Patrick Collins. It's someone that is highly notable and well known, respected, Patrick Collins. And there's a smart contract developer on YouTube. So, and you should follow them too on Twitter and all. So you can learn from their page also. And I'll be dropping, don't mind me, but I'm going to be dropping an article this week on Ethereum I know, not really about code, but it's to explain Ethereum protocols. And I want to make it weekly. And I've written it in my draft, so I will publish it this week. And so you are going to have updates every week on Ethereum protocols. And I believe
Mm. Sorry. Oh my God. We lost. I think we lost them. What? Do you guys have any question? We lost them. Any question from anybody? Can you guys hear me? All right. So no question. So like I'm just gonna say a big shout out to Adekule. He did like justice to this. I'm very happy that everything turned out great. No issue with the network. Everything was amazing. So after this session, I'm going to send the link to the no, I already send a link to the GitHub people, but you just have to just check the branch. Like I said, it's going to just push changes, and then you can have access to that latest um front end and the smart contract it was working on. So since there's no network from any, sorry, since there's no question from anybody right now, I would love to use this opportunity to introduce Medify to you guys. Medify say, for those that are not aware of it, it's a non-profit organization that will focus on empowering ladies, training ladies about the blockchain space and also about decentralized finance. We have different trainings. We have the one currently going on called Intro to Web3, whereby we teach ladies about Web3, and it's a training for just 1 month. And we also have the Web2 JavaScript training that is also currently ongoing, whereby we train newbies into the development aspect, to train them about JavaScript and all, how to create front end on JavaScript. I also have the skill up training that's made up of the blockchain development, project management, um, technical writing, design, a whole lot of things. So if you have anybody, anybody, your friends, your mom, your sister that's interested in going to Web3 or learning any kind of skill, feel free to introduce them to Imendify. We are here to stay, and we actually just started our um development community recently this year, and you can see how we have grown so far. It's amazing. We have a lot of things to do, and I saw you guys requesting for something relating to Solana. So I'm thinking of hosting the next workshop on Solana. That's the plan I had. What I've not really made up my mind yet, but I'm thinking of doing that maybe host the workshop on Solana, how to like interact with it, stuff like that. So let's see how it goes. If it's something I really want to do, I have to make the announcement and also tell you guys about it. So do wait to follow Mendefa on Twitter. Make sure you to stay updated. Follow us on Twitter, on LinkedIn, on Instagram, and also do way to follow me as well, Coxie Dave. And also your mentor, the guy that came in just now, is here. I think it's yeah, his Twitter handle is OKSTE. Yeah, OKSTE. That's Twitter handle. I don't really know how to pronounce it. So I know it's OKSTE.
Okay, Steve. It's okay, Steve. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah, OKSTE. So do it to follow him too on Twitter as well. So are you done with
My Twitter handle is OKST1234.
yeah, okay.
OKST1234.
Yeah, let me just drop it here. Are you done with everything before your network just
Yeah,
cuts
I'm
you off?
done. I'm done. So if you have any question, actually, I'm sorry I lost the connection. I don't know why.
Yeah. So any question before our mentor go and we end with quality day? Like we spent 1 hour, 26 minutes, like it's a whole lot. And I'm so happy. This is especially the first time we hosting a workshop that we didn't have any network issues or anything. It went smoothly. It's amazing and I'm so happy today. So any question? Yes or no? So we can call it a day. Mm, I'm guessing no question from anybody's end. Oh, someone said that please can all the links shared on the comment section be included on the GitHub repo readme file? And please invite. Why do you want us to invite you to the repo? What do you want to do? You want to make contribution? I don't know. You can just clone it and do anything you want to do with it. I don't think there's no need to invite you
All
to the
all
repo.
the links
You
shared
have
on the
access.
comment
Open,
section.
it's open source, so we can just like you know. Oh, someone said that's training only for ladies. Oh, my network is bad again.
Oh, no, no, I'm here. Can you hear me? Like,
You can
is
hear
this
me?
kind of. Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you. So I think it's not only for ladies, this kind of workshop. You're always welcome. I mean,
Yeah.
so you're always welcome.
Our monthly workshop, buddy. That's the reason why it's on YouTube. Like I made it on YouTube because I want everybody to have access to it. Like this is the only thing we do that's for everybody. But the only thing that's for just ladies is just our trainings. It's for ladies. I'm really sorry about that. And but we can always refer you to for the guys here, we can always refer you to where you can learn as well. But we just want to like build a community for our ladies to have like a family and where to grow and become someone good in life. So since there's no question, I think we have to call it a day. So thank you so much Adekule Good for I don't know, I like calling you Adekule Good. It's like I see you got turned to a musician. But
Nah,
thank you so much Adekule.
that's one thing that's really impossible. Yeah, I don't know who. Okay, I think I'm going to reach out to someone after this call. Owolabi
Okay.
Oluwatimeleyinfe. So
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I don't mind me. But I'm going to reach out to you, or you can reach out to me personally. I have a gift for you, and
Oh, really? What
are
gift
you
for me?
Are you Owolabi
What about
Oluwatimeleyinfe?
what about me?
So reach out to me, and I'll be happy to talk to you, and I have a gift for you.
Oh, that's so
Yeah, this is my
sweet.
first time entering the comment section, and I like his vibe.
Wow. I don't know if you can hear him though. But if you can hear what
Yeah,
he
you can
said,
hear.
please just
I think so. I think he
I
can.
don't I think my screen is just like stuck. I don't know if you can see it in the
Oh,
comment section.
yeah, I can see it. I can
Am
see
I
it.
can you see me? Am I moving?
Okay, are
No.
you moving? You are
No.
freeze. Yeah, or frozen, something like that.
My screen is stuck. So I think we have to say goodbye. Bye, guys, and thank you so much once more for being here. I really appreciate that. And I will tell Israel, please reach out to him, or reach out to me. I will tell give you his contact so I can take or claim your gift. And when you do, please remember me in your promised land.
Yes,
Bye,
sir.
everyone. Bye. Bye, Adekunle. We appreciate you and thank you so much
Yeah,
for
bye,
making it here.
everyone.
Bye.
Thank you very much. It's a privilege. Yeah.
Oh my god, my screen is stuck.
Sorry. Eh?
Let me reload that. Bye, guys. I'm back. Bye.